Why are so many Americans losing faith in their country? Rising poverty and homelessness are pushing iconic states toward collapse. Is your state at risk? Join us as we reveal the top 10 U.S. states facing serious economic and social challenges. Alaska, one of America's most remote and breathtaking states, stands out on the list of the 10 fastest collapsing states. Its rugged beauty lures adventurers, but the challenges here are daunting. In recent years, Alaska has faced a significant population decline. The Congressional Budget Office attributes this to harsh living conditions, limited job prospects, and a lifestyle fit only for the resilient. Homelessness is on the rise, driven by low wages, high living costs, and limited employment opportunities outside industries like fishing and oil. For those without homes, survival becomes a daily battle against freezing temperatures. Many resort to makeshift shelters in forests, offering little protection from the bitter cold. Alaska is a stark contrast between natural beauty and harsh realities. Anyone considering a move here must prepare thoroughly, both financially and physically, for life in such unforgiving conditions. In Baltimore, poverty and homelessness are everyday struggles for thousands of residents. Over 26% of the population lives below the poverty line, unable to meet basic needs like food and shelter. In January 2022 alone, more than 9,000 people in Baltimore were homeless, some sleeping in cars or on the streets. The city's challenges extend beyond daily survival, with personal safety and dignity constantly at risk. Baltimore's crisis reflects a broader national issue, one that begs the question, when will real change come, and how long must its residents wait for meaningful support? Hawaii, with its pristine white sandy beaches and vibrant rainbows, is a dream destination for millions. Yet for many locals, living in this tropical paradise has become an overwhelming challenge. How did one of the most stunning places on Earth end up among the states with the fastest declining populations and at risk of societal collapse? Start with the numbers. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in Honolulu can cost around $2,500 per month, while a two-bedroom can easily exceed $3,500, depending on location and quality. The high cost of housing is just the beginning. Hawaii's heavy reliance on imports makes food and fuel some of the most expensive in the nation, turning everyday life into a financial burden for many. This has contributed to Hawaii having the highest homelessness rate in the United States. Thousands of residents are forced to live in tents, temporary shelters, or other precarious arrangements. It's a stark contrast to the image of luxury resorts that dominate travel ads. Beneath the glossy brochures lies a harsh reality where many struggle daily to find safe shelter. Rising housing costs, a lack of affordable options, and relentless economic pressures have created a crisis that government measures have yet to resolve. While programs exist to support the poor and homeless, they remain underfunded, leaving countless individuals without the help they need to reclaim stability in paradise. Pennsylvania, known as the Keystone State and a cornerstone of America's history, now struggles to hold on to its own residents. Why is this happening? According to Newsweek, Pennsylvania ranks 7th among the 10 fastest declining states in the U.S. Over the course of just 1 year, the state lost around 40,000 residents, many of whom left in pursuit of better economic opportunities elsewhere. While Pennsylvania has a rich history rooted in the manufacturing industry, many of those jobs have vanished, leaving towns and communities grappling with low wages and limited prospects. The average household income in Pennsylvania is just $67,587, which falls below the national average. Coupled with a rising homelessness rate, these statistics highlight the urgent need for effective and comprehensive solutions. Economic hardship, combined with inadequate infrastructure and support, has left many struggling to survive. Without immediate action, Pennsylvania's future could become even more uncertain. The ongoing poverty, lack of opportunity, and economic struggles are also contributing to a growing crime rate, as impoverished individuals without job prospects find themselves vulnerable to criminal activity. Yes, Las Vegas is on this list too. Known for its glittering lights, luxury resorts, and iconic casinos, Las Vegas is a symbol of wealth and high-stakes gambling. But beyond the glitz and glamour lies a stark reality that is often overlooked. Las Vegas is a city of sharp contrasts where opulence and poverty coexist. Approximately 14.6% of its residents live below the poverty line, struggling to meet basic needs like food, housing, and clothing. This isn't just a statistic. It's the daily reality for thousands of families in a city renowned for its extravagance. The situation is even more alarming when you consider that in 2022, Las Vegas reported 18,524 homeless individuals, representing a 12% increase from the previous year. Despite living in a city celebrated for wealth and luxury, many residents are forced to fight just to survive. While Las Vegas thrives on tourism and its casino industry, these sectors fail to offer sufficient stable, high-paying jobs. Most service industry roles provide low wages that cannot cover living expenses, especially as housing prices and living costs soar. Imagine living in a city of abundance, yet having nowhere to call home. Another contributing factor is the rapid population growth. The city's booming development has increased the demand for housing, but the housing market hasn't kept up. This has created a severe shortage of affordable options, leaving low-income residents struggling to find a place to live. So how did Las Vegas find itself in this situation? While the city was built on dreams and opportunities, many residents have been left behind. The question becomes, how can we break this cycle? How can we create a Las Vegas where opportunity and prosperity are accessible to everyone, not just the fortunate few? Louisiana, a state celebrated for its vibrant jazz, flavorful gumbo, and iconic Mardi Gras, is facing a troubling trend. More and more residents are packing their bags and leaving. Louisiana is ranked 5th on the list of the fastest declining states in America. What's driving this exodus? The answer lies in a mix of economic struggles and systemic challenges. Louisiana has one of the highest poverty rates in the nation at 18.5%. And its average household income is just $53,500, well below the national average. This low income makes it difficult for families, especially those with young children or elderly members, to maintain a stable and secure life. Homelessness is another critical issue in Louisiana, exacerbated by economic hardship and natural disasters. Cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge are struggling with unstable housing conditions, as unemployment and illness often leave residents vulnerable. Rising housing costs and the shortage of affordable housing options only make the problem worse. Natural disasters have also played a devastating role. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, thousands of homes were destroyed or severely damaged. And despite recovery efforts, many families have yet to return to stable housing. Floods and hurricanes continue to displace thousands of residents, adding to the ongoing crisis. Louisiana is battling both literal storms and metaphorical ones, with its declining population reflecting deep-rooted economic struggles and systemic challenges. To reverse this trend, the state must come together. Government leaders, community members, and organizations must work to implement effective and lasting solutions. Whether the resilient spirit of Louisiana's people can overcome these obstacles remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: action is urgently needed. West Virginia, often called almost heaven by many, is becoming a place many residents are finding harder to call home. What's driving the economic and demographic challenges facing this state? Once a hub of the U.S. coal mining industry, West Virginia has seen over 40% of its coal jobs disappear in the last decade as the industry has declined. This loss has left entire communities without their primary source of income, pushing many to seek better opportunities elsewhere. While housing prices here aren't as exorbitant as those in New York or Los Angeles, middle and low-income residents still struggle to afford homes, whether buying or renting. A lack of affordable housing programs and long-term solutions has only made matters worse. Many find themselves sleeping in cars, tents, or even on sidewalks as they search for a way to survive. Although West Virginia isn't one of the states with the highest rates of homelessness, the issue remains deeply concerning. Recent data from the West Virginia Coalition to End Homelessness reports about 1,300 homeless individuals across the state. This number includes people living in temporary shelters, transitional housing, or entirely without a fixed residence. These individuals face daily struggles to meet basic needs, including food and shelter. Additionally, West Virginia has one of the oldest populations in the nation, with a median age of 43. The youth are leaving the state in search of better career opportunities, contributing to a shrinking workforce and an aging population. This has created a difficult cycle. The young leave for better prospects, the older remain, and the labor force continues to dwindle. West Virginia has a rich history and deep cultural roots, but today it is grappling with significant economic pressure and the effects of time. The question remains, can West Virginia overcome these challenges and reinvent itself? The state's ability to adapt, innovate, and respond to these changes will determine its future path. Illinois, a state rich in history and culture, is facing a troubling trend. The very residents who gave it its unique character are now leaving in large numbers. Why has the land of Lincoln become one of the fastest declining states in terms of population? According to recent data, Illinois lost nearly 140,000 residents in 2023 alone, a number enough to fill Soldier Field Stadium. What's driving this exodus? A major factor is the state's sky-high tax rates. Illinois has an income tax of 4.95% and some of the highest property taxes in the country. Many families are finding it unaffordable to stay as their incomes struggle to cover these costs. However, taxes are far from the only issue at play. The state is also burdened by staggering financial debt, $140 billion in pension fund obligations. This massive debt is like an unpayable credit card bill, draining resources and limiting public services while raising the possibility of further tax hikes. On top of these financial struggles, Illinois, particularly Chicago, is grappling with a serious homelessness crisis. Over 65,000 residents lack stable housing, with the high costs of rent and housing leaving low-income workers unable to find affordable options. Some individuals live temporarily with friends, others in shelters, while many programs designed to support the homeless are stretched thin and lack sufficient funding to meet growing demand. What's happening in Illinois isn't just a local issue. It's a stark reminder of the urgent need for financial reform and increased investment in social services. While Illinois is celebrated for its rich culture, history, and traditions, these legacies can't pay the bills or guarantee a stable future for its residents. The question remains, can Illinois turn this trend around? The answer depends on action. Change is necessary to stop the bleeding and restore hope to Lincoln's land. Only time will reveal whether the state can reclaim its strength or continue losing the very people who gave it its soul. California is facing a devastating crisis as its native residents continue to leave in droves. In 2023 alone, over 250,000 people have packed up and left the state. So, what's driving this mass exodus from a place that many would call a paradise? California is undeniably beautiful, but its stunning landscapes and iconic beaches can't make up for the financial struggles of its residents. Low-income individuals are especially hard hit by the state's sky-high living costs. Take housing as an example. The average home price in California is a staggering $750,000, more than double the national average. Renting isn't any easier, with one-bedroom apartments in cities like San Francisco or Los Angeles demanding a hefty monthly cost. On top of that, the state income tax rate of 13.3% is among the highest in the nation, adding even more pressure to an already strained budget. The financial burden has caused many businesses and tech companies to relocate to states like Texas or Nevada, where taxes and rent are far more affordable. However, the issue isn't just about those leaving. It's also about those who remain. California is now ground zero for a massive homelessness crisis, with over 171,000 people without stable housing, by far the highest number in the country. Walking through Los Angeles or San Francisco, the sight of makeshift tents and struggling individuals is heartbreaking. a stark reminder of how fragile the American dream can be. California's struggle isn't just about economics. It's about a broken system, a state caught between its promises and its reality. The Golden State needs more than its allure and history. It requires real, actionable solutions to stop the outflow of residents and tackle its worsening social issues. The question remains, can California address these challenges and restore hope to its residents? The answer lies in real change, not just in dreams. New York, the iconic symbol of the American dream, is now grappling with a major population decline. In 2023 alone, 179,000 people have left the state, seeking refuge in places like Florida and Texas, where taxes are lower and living costs are less burdensome. New York's cost of living is notoriously high, with daily expenses averaging 48.8% above the national average. The average home price is a steep $480,000, and renting is even more daunting. Rent in New York hovers around $4,000 per month. These numbers are far from affordable for many families, with taxes adding to the pressure. New York's state income tax rate of 10.9% is the second highest in the United States, making the decision to leave an easy one for many residents. The homelessness crisis in New York adds another layer to its growing struggles. Over 91,000 people live without stable housing in the state, the highest number in the U.S. These individuals face harsh realities each day, battling the cold, limited food options, and the lack of access to healthcare or other basic necessities. This exodus from New York serves as a wake-up call. The state, once known as the Empire State, must confront its challenges and adapt to the modern realities of living costs and economic strain. The question is, can New York find innovative ways to retain its residents and reclaim its reputation? Or will the trend of people leaving continue to grow? Every state on this list tells its own story of struggle, change, and hope. New York's situation highlights a larger lesson. No place is immune to economic challenges, and even the most iconic states must rebuild and innovate. While the situation may feel dire, recovery is possible with bold leadership, unity, and sustainable action. Government leaders should implement comprehensive reforms, not just financial support, but strategic planning and innovation, to help rebuild their states and provide opportunities for their residents. The path to recovery starts with vision, action, and collective determination. Every challenge is an opportunity to write a new chapter, one where prosperity can still be achieved.